Welcome to this short little tutorial on how to deal with some of the hostile natives of Satisfactory. Like these dudes here, the spitter. And there's also the hogs, the alpha spitters. So you notice, like when you're in a tractor or whatnot, mobs, except for the little spiders, don't aggro on you, they ignore you. And even with a basic Xeno zapper, spitters are not that difficult. So, show what I mean. I mean, he might still hit me because I'm not exactly a pro. But I mostly just jump over them repeatedly like this. Because if you do it right, then you can get them pretty much locked into their melee attack, but you keep landing to where you're outside the damage zone of it. So they just sit there trying to do the melee flame, and you're just bouncing over them, just going, ah, jaga, jaga, jaga. Then, you know, then they go down easily without a fuss. It's all about the jumping and the movement. Then you got these guys, little firefly bugs. I forget what their actual name is, but I guess there's pretty much fireflies. They're kind of annoying. You're gonna probably take hits. Because all you can really do is pretty much then they go and just try to stab them when they get close. Your Xeno Zappa has a little bit longer range than you would think with how it is. So you can usually, if you time it right, hit them before they hit you. Just because that's one of the issues I had with these at the start is I thought the Xeno Zapper's range was a lot shorter than it actually is. I mean, it's still a short range melee weapon, but you can hit those guys further away than you would actually think right off from your perspective. But yeah, they're not too difficult at all. They're kind of just annoyances. Then you have the alpha spitters, who are bigger and meaner than the regular spitters, and I personally wouldn't recommend attacking them with your standard Xeno Zapper because it's going to be a more tedious affair and they can put out a lot more fire damage. But then, by the time you start taking on them, I'd really recommend just getting the rebar gun like so and using it on them. Because it's going to make things a hell of a lot simpler with them since they like to stand still and do their attacks. For the most part anyway. And then they fall over fairly quickly with the rebar gun. And if you're a good shot, you can also do that with the rebar gun to the fireflies. It's easy to miss them, though. Then you have the first enemy that people run into, given where the starting position with the Greenland pastures area is the hog, which can be kind of intimidating due to their charge, but they're like the regular spitters, where you mostly jump. Well, I screwed that up, you know. If you jump right, then you can jump over them and often stab them like that, but you have to actually, you know, jump to avoid their charge, and they can be a little annoying with that circle thing when you're trying to just up and stab them. And then you have Big Daddy Alpha Hog here, who is, in my opinion, the most dangerous enemy because he's harder to jump over, does a lot of frickin' damage. And, okay, that's not what I want there. And stay in here. This is not the best thing, but this is basically how I go about killing them. A lot of people go about killing them. Is basically just pin them in and try to smack them, even though I'm failing at this right here. If you do it right, you can actually, you know, end up hitting them, but, you know, we'll just do it this way because honestly, you should not attack these guys with Xeno Zappers. I made that mistake once, and they kicked my ass. But this is literally the easiest and simplest way to kill them is build a trap for them. Hopefully using less mergers or whatever the hell than this to block all their avenues to escape. But no, that's the main enemies. You do also have the spiders, but they are pretty simple. I mean, they come skittering right at you, so you pretty much just literally, I mean, even the rare Xenos, if you just stab them. I mean, there's no real trick to them at all. It's just straight up stab them to death. Try not to get overrun and surrounded by them, pretty much. But you should really try to upgrade to like the rebar gun and the Xeno Basher here as quick as you can before really seriously tanking, just because they make dealing with wildlife even easier. Because the Xeno Basher does a lot more damage than the Xeno Zapper. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Or just refresh some basics. Or just watch me flare around trying to teach. Bye for now.